Turning into
that's nice. Okay, picture time. Drew, shouldn't you get your leg warmers on?
For all you've done, the training, the fundraising, the interviews, the messages that you're sending to your family, your friends, your networks. You're part of the community that Louisa and myself talked about the other day. You're part of making this a reality so that kids' cancer can be overcome someday. Thank you for being who you are.
Cheers. Thank you for being who you are.
With these riders, and they said they would commit to this message here, Destination Beyond Cancer. You see a lot of the volunteers here this year are those same riders. So big thank you to all you guys for fulfilling your promise and continuing to be part of this journey. And then this year, we got a great new set of ambassadors, the 2009 riders. This group, this 36 riders, has already raised more money than we did last year. So a huge thank you for that, and a huge thank you. We'll take this across the country with us, both these things, and we'll talk a bit more about this when we get to Halifax. When we started yesterday or the day before at BC Children's Hospital, you saw the impact that you could have. You saw kids, you talked to families, they talked about their journey. They talked about their multi-year, their 724 journey, and they thanked you from the bottom of their heart because they realized what you could do to help them and their kids. So when you think about that, I really want you to think about the imprint. The hands are a symbol of an imprint that you can have on kids' cancer in Canada, an imprint that you can have on those 10,000 families, on those smiling faces. So here's what I want everyone to do. I want you to really reflect for the next 2 minutes in terms of what you want to get out of this journey, what you want to give back to those 10,000 families as part of this journey. And then once you're comfortable with that, I want you to write those words on this banner here, and Jen will have some markers for you. And really, we're going to take that banner across with us to tell Canadians what we're committed to. Okay, so let's take a couple minutes, take as much time as you need. Sign that, and then we'll start the formal process. So thank you for being who you are.
Beautiful day.
It really matters.
Yep.
I went blind when I was 3 in 1966. In 1996, when my wife and I decided to have children, I found out that the particular cancer I had was very genetic. When my son Riley was born, he was diagnosed at 1 day old with bilateral retinoblastoma, which meant he had cancer in both eyes. He had about 13 tumors. We went through a long course of chemotherapy, laser surgery, and cryotherapy. And very fortunately, he only lost the one eye after 3 years of treatment. So we were very, very fortunate. 3 years later, after more research dollars and more modern medicine came along, we decided to have a second child. And it was a very hard decision because we knew the chances were 50-50. And when Patty, my wife, was 7 months pregnant, we were the very first to have the amnio test done to check for retinoblastoma in utero. Once again, we defied the odds and we had the 50-50 against us, and my daughter was also diagnosed with bilateral retinoblastoma. However, since we had a very early start, she was delivered a month early. Treatment started at 12 hours old, and she's now 10 and she has 2 perfect eyes. Now this shows exactly where your dollars are going to. It went from me in 60s, and the technology was very limited. In 96, my son saved one eye, and in 99, we saved both. That's just eyes. To me, it seems like a small thing to be blind. But we are also saving lives and making lives with cancer a lot better. I just want to thank you all for the privilege of doing this.
He's kidding. Want to help me? Jet?